There's no timber tonight. I was going to do the normal stuff, but the normal stuff can't happen. And I'll tell you why. Exactly 30 minutes before going on air, I got the news that a childhood friend and a fellow golfer of mine just passed on. Tubatsana Munareng was a great friend, great golfer, wonderful human being. And we just lost him today. I was tempted to call off the show, but I remembered the mantra that the show goes on. It's a rule that we have to continue. But my heart is broken. I will not lie to you. Those who knew him called him Taps, Tubatsana Wasoweto. He was a fellow member of the Renaissance Golf Club. When I joined the club, a good 7-8 years ago, he was captain. And then this year, we re-elected him back to the committee as Treasurer General. For the past few weeks, there's been a lot of chatting on our WhatsApp group, and he's been quiet. I just thought that, nah, he doesn't want to be part of the nonsense. Little did I know that he was about to sign off. I only took one comfort in this. Now, this is a guy who talks a lot, or at least used to talk a lot. He was present. We all felt him. You could never miss Tubatsana if you're part of the club or a golfer, pretty much in this country. And I comforted myself by saying he was never going to go out quiet. You see, we are in this COVID situation where funerals are now restricted. We can't go even Rolo Pharmacies and stuff like that. And I think Tubatsana decided the best way to be noticed is to live on a public holiday, because you guys will never forget my passing on. So I'm sad. But having said that, the show has to go on. Rest in peace, Tubatsana. We shall see you soon. And as a result, I've had to cancel one segment of the show, and I'm only doing one interview. And the reason I'm doing that interview is because this guest I have has got amazing special news today, but also for me, I've given her a lot of runaround. I was never going to cancel her today, so she has to be on the show. So the quickie is going to be slightly longer. It's not going to be a quickie. So good evening and welcome to Talk with Rams live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you for choosing to tune in, and thank you for following us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribing on YouTube. All platforms Talk with Rams. Now then, my name is Lebo Mashego, born 29 years ago. I'm a single mother to a 2-year-old little girl. I was raised by a single mother, and I grew up in a dusty former KwaNdebele, now called Tembisilehani region in Mpumalanga. My father was a business person, and my paternal grandmother was also a businesswoman. So I think I got the business back from them. Unfortunately, I didn't get an opportunity to study my father's business because it collapsed before I could learn from it. For the past decade, I've been trying to make some business idea take off, and many of my ideas failed. Eggsellent is now my 5th business venture. I got pregnant in 2017, and I was forced to move back to Mpumalanga. After giving birth to my daughter, my long relationship with the baby's father ended. Then I was forced to stay with my mom and get to help my baby. This is supposed to be a sad story, but it's not a sad story, because Leboham Mashile, my guest tonight, is the founder and owner of a business called Eggsellent, and we play on the word egg because she sells eggs, and she's our guest on the quickie. Lebo, good evening. Sorry I started on a sad note, but I'm better now that I'm talking to you.
Hi, Rams. Good evening to you, and good evening to all the people that are following the show today. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited.
Well, if you hear me using the word excellent a lot today, don't blame me, blame yourself. So it's excellent to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's very excellent for being here.
I love the name of the business. That's so smart. That is particularly smart. But let's start. I want to start with at which point did you think you should start a business? Because you see, you had your father and your paternal, as you said, paternal grandmother, but at the time you were doing your own things. But which part said to you, now I, Lebo, have got to get into business?
Sure, that is a very difficult question because, to be honest, I don't remember sitting and really thinking about it. I think it's something that found me, and it's always been a part of me. And to be honest, Rams, I can't really remember. I mean, really, I can't. That is
It's
a
okay.
very difficult question.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to remember the exact time.
Come again?
I'm saying you don't have to remember the exact time, and it's fine. So I know though that when you were not back home, your life was on a different trajectory. You were meeting important people. You were meeting people like Barack Obama. What was happening in your life then before you went back home?
So I come from Mpumalanga, as you have said. I grew up in a very rural, dusty area. And in growing up in Mpumalanga, I have always wanted to, I think leadership was something that was born inside of me. And for the longest time, I've always been at the forefront of it, always leading, trying to, to do something. And in the year 2016, I founded a community project. And in that, the project allowed me a platform to meet with leaders, to be around young people that are leading in their communities. I met young people in South Africa, across the continent, and that allowed me the platform to meet up with young people that are doing exceptionally amazing things in their communities. And at the time, I was not thinking about Eggsellent. I was pursuing something else. But like I said in my story, things fell apart at some stage. That forced me to sit down or back down a bit, really think about who am I, what do I want, and what do I want to create? Because now I had this little person who depends on me. I had to ask myself, what do I want to be able to pass down to this little person, this soul that I have been entrusted with? And that is how Eggsellent came to be. It was born in that fashion.
Beautiful
I don't know if
story.
I'm answering.
I am answered. In fact, I choose to take a spiritual view that says what you thought was an unfortunate thing was actually the universe forcing you to get into business. But first, it had to introduce you to a little girl and then take you back to mom and then say, now you're ready to get into business. So it was not an unfortunate thing that happened to you. It was actually your path to go it that way. That's my view. I'm not a preacher or anything, but I believe everything happens for a reason. So then, how did you choose eggs? How did you decide this is the one path I must take? In fact, no, before you go there, let's talk about what are the other 4 or 5 businesses that you tried and failed? Maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Sure. So when I was in Joburg, I tried going into events management because it sounded like the right thing to do in Johannesburg. I mean, I met with a lot of amazing people. I went to amazing events, and I was like, maybe this is what I want to do. And way before that, I had tried so many other things. I tried to get into the business of catering. Everyone was speaking about how tendering is such the in thing. And I also wanted to be part of that one. So there's so many ideas that I actually tried to work on, but all of them, in a way, they did not work out. I am very happy that most of those ideas did not work because I feel like at the time I was not really ready, or maybe I did not understand what a business was, the principles of running a business, and I feel like only now I'm ready. Only now I understand what a business is. Only now I understand what it takes to wake up and actually make a business idea work.
Yeah, yeah. And then you thought, I must sell. You thought sales is the best thing you can get into. But how did you decide you must sell eggs?
Ooh, so the business of selling eggs. Oh my God. I I don't know. I don't really remember sitting down and thinking about it. I actually started something else before getting into Eggsellent. And well, the idea was okay, but it was not really sustainable. I then thought, hey, I mean, everyone wants to use eggs. People around, they bake, they use eggs every single day. And I started looking into selling eggs. I then spoke to a near farmer. I went to them to buy in bulk, started reselling. And in the reselling, I mean, everyone responded really positive. And I was like, this is something to look into.
Mm-hmm.
I then decided, hore, okay, I'm selling eggs. I'm going to this big farm, and these people, they own layers. Why not get my own layers and start producing my own eggs? And that's what I did, Rams. 2 months down the line, since 2 months of selling or the reselling.
Yeah.
Going to a farmer and
Or buying and
buying, and
selling.
then coming back and selling. I thought about buying my own layers. I knew nothing about chickens. I knew nothing about taking care of chickens. I knew nothing about producing my own eggs. But it's something that I went into, was very confident. I I grew. I grew into, how do I put it? I fell in love with keeping chickens and actually watching them produce eggs. This is what I do now, and I'm very passionate about it. Ga ke so itse everything. I'm learning every single day. I'm studying
Mm-hmm.
eggs. I'm studying what does it take to produce the best eggs? Why um, different companies produce eggs ka tsela e ba producang ka yona, and that is a space that I really want to play into.
Mm.
Yes.
No, you make it sound easy. Now I'll tell you this much, and I'm speaking as an expert here on sales. Sales is not easy. You make sales look easy. You gotta tell me how you woke up one day and found clients and found people to buy from you. I mean, it can't be easy.
No, it's not. It isn't. It isn't. Um, but I must admit that life is a bit easier for us now because we have platforms like Facebook, the social media. It allows one to connect to the whole world so easy. You don't need to
Mhm.
really step outside your door to do it. But the word of mouth also, it works because I've had to go out and knock on different doors, especially in my community, to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And where I'm doing this, I'm competing with different people. You
Yeah.
have foreign nationals who have come into our communities. They've got spaza shops everywhere. And because they're able to sell on credit, it becomes very difficult to compete in the same space.
Yeah.
But I think what people also appreciate is when you are selling, um, you don't just sell the product or the service. You also, I believe that you need to sell yourself, and people connect with that more. I've always said to people, before you start selling, or when you start selling, you need to be aware of the fact that people don't only buy what you are selling, but they actually buy you, the person
Mhm.
behind the product. I think that is what has set me apart. And um, a lot of people appreciate it when you do something driven by passion, when
Yeah.
you do something driven by empowering yourself and empowering those around you. And um, I think also with me, people respond to the fact that they know my story. A lot of
Mhm.
people that come to buy, it's people that follow me on social media, it's people that share my post on social media, it's people in my community, people who have seen me try one idea after the other. And I feel like I inspire a number of people. At least I've had a response, or I've had people telling me that, you know what, we have been watching you, we have been watching your journey, we have been watching the process, and we appreciate it. I get people that drive from very far from where I'm located to come and support what I do. And this has really inspired me to say, there is a future in what I'm doing, and I'm not only empowering myself, but I'm actually empowering many other people around myself.
I don't seem to remember exactly, but I think you say that when you started, the best you could do was to sell 30 eggs, or about a dozen of eggs, or from a dozen to 30 eggs, it's something like that. How have you grown then? It's been 7 months now since you started the business.
So Rams, when I started, I remember ka boxi ya pele. I ordered, uh, well, we call it 30 dozen.
Yeah.
It's a big box. It's got 30 trays. That's what I started with. But I was able to move that in 2 days. And
Okay,
because
in
I was
2
able to
days.
move that in 2 days, yes, in 2 days. And I was like, because I'm able to move this in 2 days, it means Beketlang, I must buy 2 boxes. And I did that. And from the 2 boxes, it went to 12 big boxes that we move. And now because we've got our own layers at home, we also sell a lot of loose eggs, if I can
Yeah.
put it that way, because I get people who come in and say, now I'm looking for 6 eggs for breakfast. And then
Yeah.
somebody else will come in, Gausa, and say, I want a dozen. So it's been amazing. I have been able to move a lot of stock. I mean, in 1 week only, we move a lot of stock, and I'm excited because we are selling fresh eggs. Eggs
Yes.
don't stay long. We are able to move fresh eggs every single week. So the people that support us, they're actually buying fresh eggs.
How do you convince your chickens to continue laying? No, don't answer that question.
I have to do my chickens. I sing to my chickens, and every single morning I will go inside the coop, speak to them, tell them, "Hori guys, this is the vision, this
Yeah.
is the plan, this is where we are going. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to feed you the right food, but I also need you to pay me back." And we've got a very good relationship with the chickens. I'm very proud of them. And yeah,
Wow. Wow.
I'm excited to do what I do.
So today being June 16, something amazing happened to you.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes. I did not really want to speak about this, but we managed to secure a bit of land because there is a big project that we are working on. It's poultry farming, and it's something that excites me because it's going to allow us to produce eggs in a very big bulk, or in very big bulks, and we will be able to package everything and then sell it across the country, and hopefully sell to the whole African continent in the future.
Oh, so now you're a
So
landowner.
it's a very big project, but we want to start it very small. And owning land, I mean, that for me is a very big achievement.
So, Lebo, this is it. Now you're a
Yes.
farmer. This is it now.
I
From
am.
again,
I
this
am. Mama.
young, funky young girl in Johannesburg doing stuff. Now you're a farmer.
Yes, I am a farmer, and I'm very excited to call myself a farmer.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do, and this is the business I want to pass down to my kids, or to my daughter, the one that I have now. She keeps
Yeah.
me going. She's the reason I started, and she's the reason I'm going to continue. And this is about in 20 years, I want to have something big that I'll be able to hand down to my children.
Do you employ people, or do you have contractors who distribute? How do you work?
At the moment, Rams, I work with my mom. She's retired. She's
You making her work
62.
again?
Yes, I'm making her work, and I'm making her work very hard. So at the moment, I've not hired, and we are not really in a position to hire, but we do want to be able to hire. I'm thinking somewhere in 2021. I don't really have a date, but I'm very convinced that by the year 2021, we will be able to hire 1 or 2 people.
Well, you don't always have to hire people directly. I mean, I don't believe the world has moved on, but you could create jobs down the line. In the value chain, jobs can be created. It does not have to be people employed by you. It could be distributors. It could be advertisers. It could be whatever it is that they do for you. But I saw your story. I loved your story. I saw passion in your story, and I just thought I should talk to you to celebrate you, because when what happened to you happens to a lot of people, that's the end of the road. For you, that was the beginning of the road, and I love your story, Lebo.
Thank you, Rams, and thank you for your confidence in my story. I did not really think that my story deserved such a wonderful platform, but I'm very happy and I'm humbled that you could give me an opportunity to speak about my story. Hopefully, it will empower somebody to get started. And I think the one message that I want to leave with everyone is that when there's an idea that you have, please don't wait to make it perfect. Run with what you have, and we perfect everything as we go.
Excellent. I said it again. So, somebody watching us somewhere, and by the way, people are loving your story, both on Instagram and Facebook. The messages are amazing. But one last, and I hope that these are your future customers. How do they get hold of you?
So we've got a website that is launching very soon. People can go and find us on www.eggsellent.co.za. On Facebook, I'm Lebo Mashego. Unfortunately, we don't have a Facebook page just yet. And on Instagram, people can follow us at Eggsellent_eggs.
And excellent,
Thank you,
folks,
Ram.
is spelled Eggsellent. Excellent. She's playing on the eggs. That's a beautiful name. That's a beautiful business and a beautiful story, Leboha Mashego. Thank you very much for chatting to us tonight. All the best with your business. We shall track you along for a long time.
Thank you very much. And good night to everybody.
Great stuff. Folks, thank you very much for joining me. Those of you who joined slightly late and are waiting for the opportunity Tuesday interview, as I said, I've had to put it down because I lost a bit of time and I lost a great friend today. So the show started late, and I thought I won't do justice to that part of the interview. And one last time, I'd like to say rest in peace to Bazana. Munareng, you've been a great man. We shall all miss you. Tomorrow, if you're in the business of furniture manufacturing, or you know somebody in that space, there is some money in that space. Our funding coach, Zara Roji, has found money that is available for grants for you. And we're going to talk about that. So you know someone or you are involved in that business, do not miss Talk with Rams Live, 7:30 p.m. on the same platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. From me, Rams Mabote, good night and God bless.